Sang my first show tune when I was just 3. My mother knew I'd go far. I've been a show queen since way before Glee. Now I'm a Broadway star. Well, not exactly, but my friend has a friend who knows Idina Menzel.
Well, you know, I mean, sort of.
So things are happening, you'll see. But till my ship comes in, I've got a lot to tell you. Let's start chewing the scenery with... Welcome to Chewing the Scenery with... me.
Turn off your cell phones.
Chapter 11. A New Life. 1987 to 1992. During my Anything Goes run, I became increasingly more unhappy. An opportunity presented itself that would perhaps change my luck. I was asked to read for a TV pilot. The producers were in New York and wanted to meet with me before my performance. I was now living in Connecticut and commuting to the show. My agent made the appointment. On the day of my meeting, I didn't feel like going to the city earlier than I had to, so I canceled the appointment. They returned to L.A., but apparently they really wanted to see me because they called my agent again and asked me to audition on tape. I had no expectation that anything would come of it. New York actors frequently tape their movie and TV auditions if they're not flown to L.A. by their potential employers. But in general, we won't get the parts because the people doing the casting are not in the room. And it's not as if there's a shortage of actors in Los Angeles, right? When I started taping the audition, the first thing I did was speak directly into the camera and apologize for not showing up the first time. Then I read the scene. When they got back to me, they told me that my talking to the camera was actually more interesting than the audition I gave. Talk about a left-handed compliment. Then they flew the director, Rick Rosenthal, to New York and had me tape about 3 scenes with a guy named Bill Smitrovich for 5 hours on a performance day. It was oil and water with Smitrovich and me from the very beginning. At one point during those 5 hours, he pressed both hands down into my shoulders and said, "We just need to relax." What the f***, I wondered? I don't know who you are, but get your hands off me. And exactly who needs to relax? But I let it go. What were the odds of either of us getting cast in this thing, let alone together? Better than you'd think, it turned out. I took a hiatus from Anything Goes and flew out to Los Angeles in April to shoot the pilot. During the filming, I had 3 huge blowouts with Mr. Smitrovich in a span of just 3 weeks. This is a disaster, I thought. I called my agent and told him this wasn't going to work. Find a way to get me out.
Okay.
I phoned one of my dearest friends in the world, an actor I had worked with in Studs Terkel's Working, and another mammoth actor. "I want to make sure I'm not the asshole here," I said. "What's the rap on this guy Smitrovich?" My friend checked with his friend who had done another series with him. Let's put it this way. If there was an asshole in the cast, it wasn't me this time. We finished shooting the pilot, and I chose not to return to Anything Goes. I returned to Connecticut and the house that Matt and I had just built and moved into to learn that the pilot had been picked up, and I would now be living in L.A. So began my time as Libby Thatcher, the mom on Life Goes On. I loved so many people involved in the show, including Kelly Martin, who played Becca, Chris Burke, who played Corky, as well as crew, directors, and writers. My biggest problem was that I had absolutely no chemistry with Smitrovich. I found him to be a self-absorbed bully. If only he had been a talented or generous actor, the behavior might have been justified. I had to leave my new home, and in my first TV series, I would be working very closely with someone I couldn't stand. God does not give with both hands, I'll tell you that. Smitrovich.